Hey guys, we're here with Professor Shaolin with the Highly Recommended, and just wanted to say it was a pleasure having you on here.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thank you for taking the time after training right before your seminar tomorrow. Uh, what what brought you down here? I know you're doing the seminar, but is that the only thing?
Yeah,
Or,
not the only thing. Definitely, me and Robson, we have a long time friendship, and then when we set up to, when after the pandemic, and then during the pandemic, we set up a lot of stuff to do together, and that's one of the things we set up to do together. Now, things start getting more calm, and then we set up to work the seminar here together, and then Gustavo able to come as well. So it's gonna be nice to have stay between friends, exchange some positions, training, learning, and just stay between his students tomorrow. Gonna be really cool.
yeah, it seems fun having you here so far. I felt bad interrupting you, pulling you away from the other professors already. I'm sure you don't want to.
No,
You'd
but
much rather be doing that.
we're gonna be together at night. We're definitely gonna be going over some other stuff at his house too and talking. But we trained for such a long time together, so it's like take 20 minutes from our time.
No.
To do something cool is not a problem at all.
Thank you, thank you. Now you say a long time. How long have you known Professor Hobson?
Oh my gosh, I think we fought between each other in '94.
No way, like you guys literally
Yeah, like when
fought up
we,
against each other?
16 years old, juvenile, we fought against each other twice in 1994. And then, in 1995, I think he came and he joined in my school, André Pederneiras School, and became Nova União. And then after that, we initiated a very long friendship, you know what I mean? Like good roles, nice traveling together, Jiu-Jitsu, MMA, gi. So we know each other for a long time, and then it's just nice we don't live so far apart and able to work it out those trips once in a while.
Is this your first time coming to this academy?
No, I came here, a few times, for his camps, and then this one gonna be quick. Last time I think I was here for 3 or 4 days. So it was pretty fun, exchanging more time with his students, do some other stuff too. This time is just, we're still working a lot over there in New Jersey, New York, so I can't be away for so long.
Okay.
So that's the reason, that's for the quick one. But, hopefully I plan to come back, in some point, be here down in Florida again, this year.
Is it shut down up there? I had met with Professor Carlson a few weeks ago, and his academy in Chicago
in
was
New
shut
York,
down.
New York is still shut down. New York, we're not able to do, in-person class yet,
Okay.
like lives and training. We can do some Zoom, we can do class of dummies, you know what I mean? Different than New Jersey. In New Jersey, we're already able to do some regular training, thank God. Hopefully New York soon. I heard about vaccination going to start running a little faster. And then hopefully in some point we have chances to start getting more people vaccinated. And as soon as the vaccination start with more people, I know we're going to be able to restart training as well.
Well, was that hard hitting when COVID hit? Yeah.
Yeah, New York was very tough. A lot of people died, a lot of people got sick. And because we have such a big population there, such a good concentration, such a good, amount of people in a small space, in some point it become a very tragic thing. So we have to shut down not just jiu-jitsu, but gyms, bars. So slowly everybody's recovering, but
Okay.
it's just the city, felt a very hard hit.
Okay, understood. Do you primarily teach in New Jersey, or is headquarters in New York?
I try to divide my time really well. So sometimes I do mornings in New Jersey, and then some nights in New York, some nights in New Jersey. I try to stay half and half. I even don't like to say headquarters in New York or New Jersey.
Oh, okay.
It depends. Sometimes some weeks can be more busy in New York, some weeks can be more busy with kids in New Jersey. But definitely I don't try to call headquarter anywhere, because I have very important, no problem. I have a very important students on both schools, and then
Understood.
definitely New York has a little bit more time. All right, it's a little older, we have more years, history there in Times Square. But New York and New York and New Jersey, they highly important for me.
Okay. You were saying that you were training since you were 16, or that's actually when you went up against Professor Hobson. Now, how long have you actually been training for?
Yeah, I start with 14.
14.
14. And then when I fought against Robson, I was 15 and Robson was 16.
Okay.
He's 1 year older than me. And then after that, I think 95 was our big year of like start training together and develop that friendship. I think we both we knew what we want so bad about training and competing, and at some point we just start push each other a lot. You know what I mean? So I think that's the reason the friendship stick for such a long time.
What got you into jiu-jitsu? Was it family, friends?
No, I think back in Brazil, at some point it was important, like in the 90s, learning how to fight. I got a little problem on the street.
Okay.
And then at some point I was doing Muay Thai, but didn't know nothing about, ground fighting. And then, grew up in a neighborhood where it has a lot of history. Flamengo, a lot of, Gracies there, and some other families, came from that area in Rio, that area in Rio. And then at some point it's just, I got lucky to find a great gym in my neighborhood, and was very, very good to initiate and train with people.
Is that where you're from, Israel?
I'm from Rio, yes.
Okay.
From Rio, born and raised there. And then when I was 29, I moved to the United States.
29, and have you been here ever since?
Yes. And then I have 3 kids, and 1 kid born in Brazil, my other 2 kids born here.
Okay.
And then now, very happy here, and just waiting right now for the time to everything pass to start, going with my life forward again.
You've had a fighting career, if I remember correctly. Like, you actually got into the ring and fought.
I fought MMA. I fought 25 MMA fights.
25?
Yeah, between 2001 and 2010. And then was a very nice career, and I have 25 fights, 20 wins and 5 losses. And then definitely was a very important time in my life where I thought I was very professional and able to achieve some really, really good fights and titles. But I knew I always enjoyed jiu-jitsu, and at some point I retire, I will be back on the mats, training, learning. And then I have some friends so smart and so good in jiu-jitsu, so it's nice to come down here and just learning from them and spend time with them.
So, you like to do jiu-jitsu more than actual fighting and standing up?
Yes, I think MMA was a professional time in my life where I was there for the money, but I think jiu-jitsu always was my passion, and then I knew in some point I'll be back on the mats, I'll be back on the gi,
Do you like teaching more than competition, or is that like a even 50-50?
No, I think like a teaching definitely I developed later in my career, but definitely I think competing was something I was finding in myself like a very early, and enjoy the adrenaline, enjoy training the process. But today I not compete as much as was before. So today I enjoy a lot learning, teaching, sharing my knowledge with other people. So it's just a different time now, where I can still have some competition habits, but right now my view now is for the student to making sure he can grow and learn and enjoy like me.
Understood. When was the last time that you did compete?
I competed the last European, 2020.
2020. Wow.
Master 3. I won. I fought 4 or 3 times. Won my fights. Was in Portugal. It was a very nice tournament. I was feeling really, really good. And then that's kind of the last time before the pandemic.
Oh, okay. That's good. At least you ended it right before the pandemic.
Yes, a chance to compete.
Before we end this and get on out of here, I like to ask this one question with everyone that I interview, and especially since you like to teach. What is one move, whether it's teaching or competition, that you like to do in general?
Me?
Yes. Whether it's a submission or a position, transition.
I like to know how to be balanced when I approach my opponent. You know what I mean? I like to be making sure I position myself right to do the position I have in my head. I think balance is such an important thing. And sometimes before I make my grip or make my hooks, I like to making sure my positioning towards to pass or towards to sweep was correct.
Okay.
And this is something like I definitely not developed this in the beginning, but today if I have something to address, you know what I mean, with every student, you know, I will be asking if he was stable to do what he did it, and if it works, if he knows why it works, if it doesn't work, if he know why it doesn't work, because a lot of things can be so related with his balance. So that's something like I really like to, you know, it's not a specific move, you know what I mean? Because I don't have a preference. It's just about, you know, looking for be always well positioning, you know, towards the competition, towards the training.
That's actually good. Out of a lot of answers, I haven't heard that the balance. So that's something that you like to implement into your students, or even when you go up against your opponents, you like to make sure, and that's something that my viewers should take away, is that when you go up against your opponent, to make sure before you take your next step, to make sure you are stable and balanced in the position that you're in.
Yes, yeah, that's the biggest idea, because if you're not, sometimes you're looking for the position, but you don't know how to position yourself first, to making sure you can apply the technique right. A lot of times in the middle of the position, when the guys start moving or pushing or pulling, you're gonna completely lose your balance.
That's something I'm gonna have to work on. I'm glad that you pointed that out, because I'm always getting taken off balance, swept, or anything.
And
I'm
sometimes
always like, and then it's like,
yeah, being a lighter guy can be even more important. You know what I mean? Understanding how to position, because, you know, a lot of times you have chance to apply a lot of pressure, a lot of weight. Doesn't matter your size, but if you position yourself correct, if you, you know, place your body on the side of his body where he's weak, where he doesn't have so much movement, or place your hands or your hips in a place where he can't move so much. This is like is the secret, is the sauce, is sometimes to make each position, you know, really perfect for your body type.
well, I appreciate that answer, and I appreciate you taking the time
Thank you
for
for
this
having
interview. As you guys heard, Professor Vitor Shaolin, New York, New Jersey Academies, highly recommended. Stay tuned for the seminar tomorrow.
All right. Thank you, guys. Bye-bye.
Thank you.